What's good, chat? Today we are reacting to a football digest video. Now this is about Kyler Murray. I have a Vikings friend. He's really excited about Kyler Murray, but I also have a Cardinals friend that is excited he's gone. So let's see what football digest. He's really good at analyzing this stuff. So make sure you sub to the channel before we get into this, and maybe consider following Twitch.
Stop me right now if you've seen something like this happen in the past. Undeniably one of the best and most highly regarded offensive play callers in the entire sport.
Okay.
He gets his hands on the disregarded quarterback he wants on a one-year deal.
Yep.
And that quarterback showed you over the years that he's got the skill set at the very least to thrive in this league.
I would say so.
System, possibly make an effort to surround him with the right kind of talent. It might be better than you could ever imagine. You also don't need me to tell you that we are looking at eerily similar circumstances compared to what transpired
Sam
on
Darnold.
the same team just 2 years prior. The numbers you're seeing from Darnold and KOC, they weren't just
It revived them,
unprecedented.
bro.
They showed you how he can tailor an offense directly into a quarterback's strengths.
Yep.
But at the same time, this is a very different style of a quarterback that he's going to be working with.
True.
So the question's not just will it work,
Ooh, he's got some gameplay
but it's
against
how
the
exactly
Vikings.
does he open up this team's playbook.
First down and 10. Murray directing traffic, sets his feet, wants him in the end zone. Harrison
That's a
Jr.
nice find.
He's got it. There's the touchdown from 15 yards from Kyler Murray.
That's a nice find.
Now, even though the snap we just looked at together is from a Week 13 game way back in the 2024 season, it is pretty much a perfect example
Of
what
what
a
he
guy
can
like
do.
this brings to the table.
Yep.
Out of structure playmaking and high-level touch with precision on the football. Now, the absolute last thing I'm here to do in this video
Insane
is sit here and
pass, by
bash
the
this
way.
team's young quarterback after his first year as a starter. You can have your own opinions on both him and his performance. Lord knows there's already plenty of them out there.
You just
What
don't
I'm here
get
to do is-
like, and I'm a Michigan fan. You just don't get you don't get enough snaps at Michigan to be an NFL ready quarterback. You don't. That's why people are saying Bryce Underwood, he's not getting enough snaps. I thought he was coming to LSU because wide receiver U, like, he's just not gonna get enough QB experience, in my opinion. Obviously, it's good. He goes to a good school. It's a good school. They have a chance at making it into the playoffs and stuff. So it's competitive games, but they run the ball a lot more.
is piece the puzzle together as to why Minnesota was chomping at the bit to get this guy. You dive into some of his tape.
It's a 1-year deal, so
it
why
begins
not?
to make sense where he could fill in some of the cracks of this scheme.
Okay, against the Panthers.
Defense. Ball has to come out fast.
Yep.
Then they drop back. They rush forward. Murray back in
Finds
the end zone.
another
Touchdown. Michael Wilson.
insane throw,
Look at
insane
the
catch.
influence of McBride in the slot. What it does
I was about to say
to this
McBride.
safety Scott, and that's what opens up this window.
Yep.
One of the top components of KOC's offenses over the years.
He
has been
shouldn't
a
have been
22-second
playing
range
like that
over the middle of the field.
anyways. He should have been
Not
over it.
necessarily doing so by excessive volume, but more so using it as a viable option to
Okay.
keep defenses guessing.
So just okay.
Watch how
So
they use Justin Jefferson to stress this Tampa 2 call, for an example. You've got TJ Hawkinson on a seam route down the hash.
Timberwolves
and Jefferson's
win.
got a low post route that's targeting that exact same area. Now do me a favor real quick and just imagine yourself in the shoes of the pole runner down the center of this cover scheme. 11 times out of 10
so
off the
difficult
snap,
in Madden to
your
stop
priority
this.
is, rightfully so, going to be the top 3 receiver in football. Just by using Jefferson's presence in itself, you've worked to both exploit the call and reap the benefits of a quick 30-yard completion.
Yep.
But we also need to note there's one massive problem when you're talking about last year's Vikings.
Okay.
Because their Achilles heel in the past game was far and away
Throwing it
their
to
lack of
the
efficiency in
yep.
this area. A staple within the offense.
9
And
interceptions.
working to attack it did this team more harm than good.
Ah.
I'll just keep the point that I'm trying to make here short and sweet. This is one of, if not the best
Ooh,
wide
Addison
receiver
and
duo
Jefferson.
that you're going to see across the entire sport. You watch the majority of these games back in 2025. The designs and sequencing in the plays were always creating those gaps.
Yeah.
The execution, on the other hand,
So what happened with this throw?
it typically wasn't there.
What happened with this throw? Look, he's open. The safety's not getting there in time. This is an open pass.
But on the other hand, what about when you flip the
We throw it to the safety. That's why he got it.
script over to the new guy in town.
Got it.
Does he really end up making a drastic difference when you sit back and
If you don't let him play COD for a little bit. I think he thrives, man. I don't know. I think he thrives here, bro, in Minnesota. Ooh, they're playing Val. I might hop on Val.
Now, these numbers over the middle, it's a conversation and discussion that you could break off in one of two ways. I mean, on the positive side, this kind of efficiency is incredible. Somewhat of a scissors concept dialed up on the back, and it's going against a 4-deep quarter-style coverage from the Rams.
Okay.
Now, initially, as you'll see right off the drop,
So
Kyler knows he's going to have Trey McBride outside to the sideline if he wants it. But he also knows at the same time he
got
can
the
take
flat.
a risk on the deep shot based on how the secondary's playing it.
Oh, I was going to
Outside
say
leverage from the boundary
pass it
corner.
to the flat.
And the weak side safety, who's too far wide in the moment to be able to affect that throw. The accuracy that he's shown on the bulk of these reps is promising.
Yeah, like that's.
The one caveat to
I'm
that,
not
though,
throwing that, but that's
some would
a.
question
Oh wait,
the
we
attempted
saw that play. I
41
looked
total
away for
throws
some reason.
in between the numbers over a 17-game season. But honestly, I would also argue that in saying, I don't think it was his fault. I think it was about what his last scheme had prioritized. Just take his top 2 targets in Arizona as a reference in both Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride.
Nice.
While both exceptional in areas like, say, creating space, they tend to lean into their side.
I think he's gonna miss like a tight end like
Possession
McBride
ability more than
though.
anything.
That
A
is one
simple
thing I will
example,
say.
The smash concept corner
This
route
tight end
going
class was
right
so
at a
weak
drop
too.
in safety.
I will say, but we got Jolly, so I'm happy. And I'm saying this now on this is the first sports video I've done in a while. I am genuinely so mad that we did not get Jeff Caldwell. If you guys have been watching the Twitch for the last few months, as soon as I saw Jeff Caldwell, Unax display, hopefully display comments on the video if you know whatever. But we saw his 40. He was like a 4.3. He's 6'5", and I was like, bro, the Broncos have to get him because we're not getting Sadiq. Sadiq's going early in the round. He did. We're not getting Stowers. Stowers went early. I was like, we have to get Caldwell, and he fell out of the draft. And I was like, insane. As soon as the draft ended, we had the last 2 picks. I was like, okay, we had the last 2 picks. Let's just, call Caldwell up on the phone and let's sign him. And I literally tweet as soon as the draft ends. Obviously, it's not gonna matter. George Patty's not seeing my Twitter, but I was like, sign him because, yeah, the Chiefs signed him. The Chiefs got Megatron height, Megatron freaking speed, Megatron separation, and then freaking Tyreek Hill speed like 6'5", like 6'5" Tyreek Hill, bro. Like
everyone in the stadium knows that he's not going to beat you deep. But timing up those kind of up and down the boundary feather throws, they really became the headline of Kyler's game.
Yeah.
But at the very same time, by no means am I
It
trying
was like
to
I
imply
saw
that
it.
the
I
vertical
was
threat
like,
was
we have to
extinct from
draft
this
him, and
team
he
for the
felt
Cardinals.
like the whole thing was he fell out of the draft. Like it just that sucks.
Out just to look a little bit closer at this go route down the field paired with a cross from earlier last
Now he's
season.
nowhere near the best wide
Now, if it looks
receiver in the
familiar to you
class,
at all,
but
it's
he's
because
really
it's practically
good.
identical to the clip we showed earlier in the video that resulted in a pick.
Okay.
But look at the left side.
So
of your
how
screen.
does it? Oh wait, no, this.
Wentz let this ball go, aiming for that crosser, right as the midfield safety was breaking down.
Yeah, so like the pass is open here.
And of
He's
course,
got
in
to
doing
pass
this,
it
that
to
extra
the
layer of
receiver.
ball protection had been abandoned. Flip back real quick over to that Arizona rep. Watch as we play it here in a second, how he reads both of these safeties in relation to his routes. The second that Kyler Murray saw that safety working to clamp down in close space on the cross, he knew he had full go to try and hit that deep shot down the sideline to Marv.
Yeah.
Now, the point of that comparison between the two plays, it's not to try to convince you if you weren't aware that Kyler Murray is a better choice than Carson Wentz. But it's to show you that the arm talent is no joke. In fact, you can make the case that it's far better than what the majority of fans would assume. You pair that kind of an asset with a coach like this, it's why
I'm excited,
so eager
man.
to see what this is actually going to look like on a football field together.
Thunder, I know you're excited.
Kevin
bro.
O'Connell has both worked with and proved that
Thunder
he
is
can
like
succeed with
licking his
quarterbacks in these
chops,
spots.
bro.
But when you shift that conversation over to someone like Kyler, he's never been in a system like this.
So now 1st and 5. Darnold with time. He wants to go deep for Addison.
Darius
And
is
it
so
is
what's up.
caught inside the 5.
Live at the 2.
Thunder, I gotta talk to Thunder
with the grab
about
under
Vikings.
duress.
But yeah, I'll tell Darius.
We've already showed Kyler making eerily similar throws to this, but these three being on a depth chart together with him now is why I wanted to show you this. Remember how we highlighted Kevin O'Connell a little bit back, working to clear space over the field with some
Kevin
of those route
O'Connell, bro,
combinations?
he just got a new weapon, man.
Well, this is another case in point. You've got an inside release dig for Jefferson up top, and it's paired with two lower level routes and a double post on the same side opposite. Now, right off the turn, it at least looks like this can be another example of attacking a four deep quarters type coverage from the defense. You might have also noticed that I only left Justin Jefferson's route on the screen here, because one way or another, he is the one that tees off the chain reaction in all of this.
Interesting.
The key point in Kevin O'Connell's design is that inside release off the line. He is intentionally attacking the inner shoulder of that man right in front of him, just to gain that slight advantage once he gets somewhere around 12 yards down the field to finally break off the route. Then all of a sudden, the next thing you're going to notice is that inside safety up top picks up on this immediately.
Yep.
And pretty much, to keep a man on Jefferson in the best way possible, the safety and outside corner essentially just switch assignments on the fly. Inside takes the dig, boundary drops to open space.
And so Hawkinson is open.
But aside from that, what about those two post routes next to each other that we were talking about? Would you believe me if I told you that Kevin O'Connell drew one of them up with the full intention of it just being nothing more than a pick route? In the 2.5 seconds that all of this occurs in real time, you and I think absolutely nothing of it. But because of that play design, those two routes take up 75% of the coverage, and Jordan Addison's left by himself on an island.
I meant
Now,
Addison. I don't. I meant the outside receiver.
There's pretty much an endless supply of high IQ drops and concepts like this. But aside from, say, just the arm talent that's needed to operate,
and Kyler can do this.
Another commonality that you see in the successful stints of quarterbacks is the pocket awareness. You also sure as hell don't need me to tell you what the consensus is when thinking of or considering Kyler Murray's play style in this realm. The happy feet heavy, sometimes almost too quick to leave his drop style of a quarterback, who also from time to time just decides to pull a rabbit out of his hat in some of the most unfathomable ways you're ever going to see.
Ooh!
If anyone in this league knows how to work their way out of a sack or a negative impact play, it's this guy. And like we've teased already in the video,
oh man, if he was a little
just the
stronger,
fact
that's a
that
touchdown.
It's a polar opposite in the style, but it directly addresses one of the more glaring issues this offense had in 2025.
Stack it most.
Basically, Kevin O'Connell's entire body of work has been pocket passers. And Kyler Murray obviously bucks that trend, but that's also not to say he can't become the happy median between those two styles. This third and long rep's a great example because they're actually using his greatest strength as a weapon.
Yeah.
Now, the Niners want to dare Kyler Murray to beat them with his arm rather than his legs, so they're going with a 6-man blitz at the backfield. Contain rushers on both edges to eliminate a rollout.
Too deep.
And 4 bodies coming downhill inside with nothing more than a 3x2 zone on the back end for the coverage. This kind of a philosophy of favoring chaos over control when going against Kyler, it was pretty common in his time in Arizona. By no means does he over-rely
this
on
isn't
his
even
legs
deep
to
because
find
he's
the bulk
already
of his success.
like,
It's just definitely worth mentioning when pairing that kind of skill with his processing ability. But let's also make it clear before we go any further, these kind of throws in the last couple of clips are not the reason a coach like KOC brings him in to compete with JJ McCarthy. Those
Cameron Jordan knew, look at him, bro.
Tight window throws. I mean, that is truly
that's another
short of the
Magenta, if you're still in here, bro. Kay Adams tweeted that she wanted Cameron Jordan to go to the Chiefs because they need somebody like for sacks. If we lose out on Von Miller, Jeff Caldwell, the tight ends, the wide receivers, other than Waddle, Cameron Jordan, if we miss out on Sadiq, if we miss out on all these players, I'm going to genuinely have a conversation with George Patton. We got to get Cam Jordan and we got to get Von Miller and just win a Super Bowl and get them some rings. That's all I'm saying.
Say what you want about any other aspect of his performance, but the guy's got a fastball, an ability to thread the needle that's second to none compared to anyone you'll see.
Pistons came back and won.
Watch when he releases this ball, how covered Naylor is in the back of the end zone. He is a little bit bizarre on some of his fundamentals of throwing the football.
Everything about this stems back to being
What do you
able to
mean, wrong
vertically
sport?
extend the field, which also goes hand in hand with unlocking the entire playbook. Take a look at this design from last season. A one-on-one Justin Jefferson deep ball that's likely going to be there by attacking the weaker part of a high-low safety rotation. And honestly, everything from JJ reading those safeties to his operation in the pocket couldn't have been much better. He immediately locates the weak side safety, who's working to wall off routes that are coming towards midfield.
Okay.
And the opposite is pretty much just riding his side of the hash, completely eyeing down Adam Thielen.
I envision this all in my mind.
Now, not only does he make that read, but he then proceeds to climb the collapsing pocket.
No, I watch football. I think you've told me about that too. Yo, leak with the raid. Leak with the raid, bro.
Way down.
Alrighty.
I mean, processing-wise, at the very least, it feels like the right decision was made here. But because of a phenomenal play by the safety, who's not even in the picture currently, and maybe leaving this ball just a tad too much inside, a pick was the final result of all of this. The combination of being able to read those rotations and move defenses with his eyes is why I think KOC wanted to pull the trigger on this. Right here, you've got a very
which is why Darnold wasn't in Minnesota last year. He had to go to Seattle.
4 verticals across
they didn't
the
win
board in
last.
The play call.
They didn't win in 24.
And the back line of the defense actually looks like they're in a split field coverage. Now, why it's important to note what these 3 defensive backs are set to do in this call is because of what you end up seeing Kyler do to create the opening downfield for his receivers. First thing he does is eye up the low bender out of the slot. And you can definitely notice that when we briefly pull up the end zone view.
And remember, the other safety on the other side is
doing so,
he's got half the field.
Throws that inside safety in place.
Okay.
Now, it might not seem that critical at the moment, but flip back over solely to that field view.
Yep.
And look why it matters in relation
it's one
to that
safety watching half the field.
Read whichever direction the deep half decides to commit.
Yep.
And put the ball where no one but the receiver can get it.
Yep.
Nick Scott was extremely deep and wide.
He's so good at making the whatever person he has in the video look good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he finds these insane plays that just make them look amazing.
In the center of that Panther defense.
Now, sure, layering the football, using all 3 levels.
And I mean, that's a touchdown if he throws it to the right person.
But pretty much all we've done up to this point in the video is dissect this guy's system. Granted, between both of the guys on the screen right now, Kyler's likely going to be the one that needs to do more adapting. But there's still the question, how are his unique strengths going to make an impact in changing that system?
But you got all offseason.
Concepts and
all offseason work on it.
Are a force multiplier
in this guy's Portuguese, don't worry about it.
But having a quarterback that can beat defensive backs around
it was pretty obvious what you meant, what they did to the coach.
We've seen this man work his magic on one-year projects in the past. But this is a different conversation. But I'm also extremely curious what you guys have to think. So let me know your thoughts on all this down below in the comments.
I think personally that he will do good in Minnesota. I hope he does. Thunder, if you're watching this video, shout out to you, because you normally don't comment on them. But yeah, make sure you guys drop us on the channel. Drop a follow on the Twitch, StoryofMike with 2 eyes. It is now May, so I'm going live every single day in May. I haven't missed a day in 700 days, but I'm going for my sub record. So make sure to follow the Twitch. See you guys later. Peace.